All right. All right. So we are actually live on this particular episode of Money Chat. Um, Thank you very much, guys, and welcome for to this particular episode. I'll be featuring a very special guest. And as usual, I would like you to let me know quickly, those of you who are watching, where you're watching from, so that we can quickly understand where you're joining us from. I'm featuring a very special guest today, Mr. Bernard Chiwala, okay, who'll be joining the stream in a few minutes. I would like to also do some quick housekeeping. You know what, how it is here. In the first few minutes, we just want people to gather around and get to join us on this particular stream. I already have Mr. Chwala with us. I'm just trying to add our audience on Facebook, on the other Facebook page, so that they can equally join this conversation. So let me just do some usual housekeeping. This week, we've been talking about avocados. So today, we have the specialist of avocados, the man who knows the Hass avocado very, very well. And that's the person that we'll be speaking to on this particular episode. Okay. He comes with a huge audience. Apparently, in the background, we have a huge audience that's with us. Okay, so please do comment. Let me know where you're watching from. All right, and just let us know where you're watching from, so that we can appreciate who's joining us on the feed. Just give me about a minute before I can add him. I just want to make sure that those that are on the Candice Nyangwe page are not left out. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Has Avocado, and the principle is very simple. We want people to learn products. Okay, when you have products, you'll be able to make money. The entrepreneur journey for most people is limited by two things. People would blame what they call environment, and others blame what they call empowerment. Okay, they'll say, "No, I'm not empowered." So we want to take this opportunity to basically help people make sufficient money in order for them to have an income. So just quickly, I'm about to share, but as usual, you can also share on your page. Make sure your friends and family can get to learn more about Has avocados. Okay, so let me just do the sharing quickly. Then we can invite our special guest onto this live stream. Okay, that's streaming on YouTube on the Ken Sinyango Insights, as well as on the Kenny Sinyango Insights Facebook page. Just doing some quick housekeeping here, and once we add our friends, we'll then bring in our guests. Now, remember, this Money Chat is actually sponsored by Glam Republic, all right, for our friends who are in the cosmetic industry, and also it's sponsored by Garage on Wheels. Okay, so for those people that have a breakdown in the middle of nowhere, Garage on Wheels are the people that can come and bail you out and get you out of that fix. Very, very important. So do share, like I always say, share with your friends. Let as many people catch this stream as much as possible. I really appreciate that. these people. And right now, the internet now the business of avocados. Okay, so we are about to onto our live stream. Okay, and there we go. Mr. Chiwala is now joining us so that we can have this lovely conversation on money chat for this week. Radio, so I treat it as such. So let me bring Mr. Chiwala onto our live stream. There we go. We should be having him come on live in a few seconds. And then you can get ready with all your comments, questions that you want to ask. Um, Make sure you put them in the chat box and Hello, are you able to hear me, Mr. Chiwala?
Yes, I am.
Okay, my apologies. Because we've got a lot of guests, I think the system is overwhelmed because there are more people who are trying to join.
Okay.
So that's where the delays are coming from. Yeah. So even the other side, I'm unable to see you. So I may have to work with this particular camera. Let me just remove the other one, then we can continue. Okay. I guess we'll have to work with this. All right. So for those that are watching live, if you have any questions, any comments that you'd like to make, please do share, and we'll put them up live. Yeah, we're having a discussion about house avocados. First question, Mr. Shua, and this one is because you would like to understand the background. Why? I've got a friend of mine who saw the post and then inboxed me and said, man of many talents. So the first question I would like to basically pose to you: tell us about your background.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinyangwe. My name is Engineer Bernard Chiwala. I'm a family man of 6 children, 2 boys and 4 girls, married to Nkani for the last 27 years. And I'm a Christian, got born again in 1988 at the University of Zambia. And I must say that was one of my turning points in my life. When I heard the message of the gospel preached to me for the first time and saw my need of a savior and got born again. And whilst at UNZA, I met the Navigators. The Navigator is a Christian organization that work in campuses, in marketplace, and basically focusing on helping people to navigate through life so that they may finish well and strong, using the Bible as a life manual. So since 1988, I've been a navigator, and they've taught me how to start the Bible. And much of leadership I've learned along the way is from the Bible. It's based on biblical principles. And I trained as a civil engineer, worked in the water industry for 14 years, Lusaka Water, Ministry of Energy, Nkana Water. And talking about Nkana Water, it was an exciting place for me in terms of the transformation we were able to do as management. And basically, we learned from a water company out of Uganda that was doing very well. So we asked them to come and implement performance improvement strategies at Nkana Water. And things went very well. And one thing we did or learned at that time was that all employees need information from a cleaner to the MD of the organization. And this I was able to learn from one of the books I was reading on leadership concerning the project the Americans had of landing a man on the moon. In that book, it's reported about a consultant visiting NASA and then asking a cleaner there what her role there. And the answer and response she gave was very profound. This was a cleaner I read in that case study. And the lady answered that our role is to help launch a man into space. So this is a cleaner. And that transformed my thinking about the role of any place in an organization. And what we did at Nkana was everyone knew their metrics They knew their KPIs. And by the end of the day, by 17 hours every day, in each department, everyone needed to know what we had done on that particular day. The amount of water we had produced, the amount of water we had pumped, the amount of money we had made, the number of people we had disconnected, we had not paid the money. And it was an exciting place. We implemented a stretch program, giving them tough goals that they were able to meet. One of the things I learned along the way also in my journey in the corporate world was encouraging people to read. Most people, when they leave university and college, they pack their books and leave them there. We did, I must say, I did force people to read that in Kana Water. We'll give every employee a book. And those who couldn't understand English would translate it in Bemba. And I'll set questions for everyone except myself. We used to do the exam at CBU. And I'll mark everyone. That was the only way I was going to know people were reading. And some of the books we read together were Who Moved My Cheese and 1 Minute Manager. And the idea was to enable people be of one mind. And then I moved on, and also whilst in Kitwe, I picked up the passion for farming through Reverend John Enright at Kafakumba near Luansha Tenof. He was doing bananas. So he's the one who initiated me into banana farming. And in fact, the first 2 hectares we began at our farm in Kitwe for bananas, he gave us the irrigation system for free. Very generous man.
Wow.
And
it's interesting.
And we moved on. And he was such an inspirational man. Too sad he died 2 or 3 years ago. He was killed by a truck. He was bashed by a truck. But his legacy lingers on. He also introduced me to beekeeping. John Enright had beehives across Zambia and was exporting honey out of Zambia. And he was very generous with information. He will show you everything. He will not hide.
Another beat made by Avocado.
You can continue.
Second last bonuli abanda. It's ne and the mine.
He taught me the principle of freely you've received and freely you must give, as the Bible teaches. And I try as much as possible to share as well what I'm learning. And I also had an opportunity to work
Another beat made by Avocado.
Nina Badula Mundola. Second last bonuli abanda. It's ne and the mine. Kilioni and Zayatate. If I had to count 1,000,000 times that I've been showered from heaven above, I've been blessed with a wonderful family. Most recently, a beautiful daughter. Alanima Esa, Nima Pushinga, Veinati Unasila, Koma Mulungu Samanisia. My story up on internet in my own. All they ever do is just make me strong.
So that's
I have no
a bit
idea
about my
what's
background.
going on in the background. This thing just started misbehaving. Sometimes we use technology to better our lives, but there are times when technology decides to work against us.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
that I've noticed today the system is overwhelmed. I think it's the number of guests we have in the background. So it's kind of clogged. It's doing all kinds of things that it's not supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Yes, it will probably normalize in a few seconds. It's not supposed to play what is coming on the screen, and that it's cut. That's basically disturbed our audio. I'm trying to see how this whole thing can basically stop because it's even covered our screen. Yeah. Okay. I think at this point I'm able to hear you because I wanted to go to the next question. Right. I wanted to, like I said, the system being overwhelmed. Okay. Okay. So the next question is, how did you pick Hass avocado? How did you discover it?
I came to learn about us avocados through a colleague of mine, engineer Lighton Kanoa. I visited him at his place in Olympia, and he was growing and grafting the Hass avocados. And he told me about his project in Vubwi where he was doing outgrower schemes. And he told me, this is the green god of this century. And it's not long ago. It's just slightly over two years now.
Mm.
And he told me about Kenya and how that they are leading Africa in terms of production of us avocados, and how it is transforming lives, and the shift the Kenyans are making from growing tea and coffee to us, because it's a generational investment. You plant it now, in 3 years you begin harvesting, and you harvest for more than 50 years. So as I reflected on it, and I had read a story that blessed me so much more than 10, 15 years ago, the story of Tete Kwashi from Ghana.
Mm.
Tete Kwashi was a freed slave in Ghana who took some time to go to Guinea as a farm laborer. And he worked in Guinea for 8 years and came back home to Ghana. And he came back with nothing. You know, when people go abroad, there are a lot of expectations, particularly from family members. Oh, but all he came with were cocoa seeds. And he began teaching his people how to plant and grow cocoa. And he did that for 32 years. And Ghana became the world's largest producer of cocoa. So the story of a single individual transforming the economic landscape of Ghana has had an impact on my life. How when you are single-minded and you push it, you can do incredible things. So the story of Tete Kwashi impacted me a lot. And now my friend Kanoa, engineer, telling me about the story of us. And there's so many things you can do. And at the time I came to learn this, we were also already doing food processing. We were packaging, which we do, chili sauce, peanut butter, and honey. Remember I talked about honey I learned from John Enright. And what I like most about avocado was the processing side of the equation, because you can do so many things out of it. You can process avocado oil for cooking, for for hair oil, and for lotion, for making soap. I don't know if you remember in grade 12, 11 and 12 in secondary school, those who were doing sciences, we did a project, a laboratory experiment to make soap, soponification. And soponification basically is a process of when you get two things, an alkaline and oil. And when you mix the two, that soap, it's that simple. And we passed the exam and we left it. Can you imagine?
And you left it in school, and you didn't take it with you. But I'm aware that
we left it in
you
school.
did something in value addition around soap, so you're forgiven. We'll discuss
We'll
discuss. Yeah, you're forgiven because we're going to discuss value addition on avocado.
Yeah.
So the next question I would want to ask you is, how does one grow this famous avocado that is being talked about so that they become part and parcel? You did talk about the outgrower scheme, and I'm privileged to know the Kenya story as well. And there's a company that has guaranteed 20,000 people a meal a day. They don't sleep hungry because they are managing to participate in that particular. It's just one industry. So if imagine if Kenya is sitting on 10 of them, they're guaranteeing at least 100,000 people who are benefiting from the Hass avocado production. So how does one actually grow Hass avocado?
Well, Hass avocado hails out of Mexico and Guatemala. So that's where it's native. But it was made world famous in California by a man called Mr. Hass. And it was a failed experiment of this fruit that grew that later on became world famous. So basically, you get your local seed and plant it in the ground. You prepare your soil and do soil tests, which is key because in the past, we were doing farming in a blind way, but we need to be scientific. You need to have soil tests carried out so you understand the profile of your soil, to know what is in the soil and what is missing and the amendments that you need to make. So you are scientific, and that's what we are encouraging. So once you plant this seed, the local seed, then you are able to go and get a scion, which is a small shoot, a small stem from a mature Hass avocado plant. And we have them in Zambia. Incidentally, from what I've learned, Hass avocado was introduced in Zambia more than 25 years ago.
Wow.
But it was one of those best kept secrets by very few powerful people. Unlike Kenya, Kenya democratized the growing of Hass avocados, and they are leading the pack. And they are in the top 10 globally in terms of production and export. But here, it was one of those that was kept with the lead so that people don't know about it. If we had done what the Kenyans did, my estimation is that would have been ahead of Kenya because Kenya doesn't have the landmass we have, number one. They don't have the amount of water we have. Part of Kenya is arid. It's arid, but here, I just came out of Kawambwa early this month on a project through the Lusaka Avocado Multipurpose Cooperative. It's amazing in terms of the waters you found in Luapula. And what shocks me personally, which is what we must change, this narrative must change. How can Luapula be the second most backward province economically in Zambia?
Even I don't understand. But I have an understanding to where this problem is coming from. It's coming from the fact that when we gain independence, we nationalize. So wealth was meant to be government driven. Industries were government driven. Then when we privatized, instead of taking ownership and shifting it into private hands, we brought in what we call foreign direct investment. So most people have been seeking to become professionals as opposed to controlling means of production. And that's why, as a key ingredient of production, human capital is a key player. So now, why I'm having this interview with you is because you have a solution in form of a product or various products that people can actually use. And this is what we want to drive people to do so that we can become like Kenya. Now, what's interesting is Congo is even producing more avocados than Zambia.
Correct.
And exporting.
Yeah. They are ahead of
Congo,
us.
they're ahead of us. And then it skips us and goes to South Africa. South Africa is producing more avocados than Zambia. And yet the center of the tropical activity is here. Yeah. So if you go through the steps, how many meters does one need to for them to dig, and then for them to plant the avocado tree, and then how much is it for one to buy the one you were explaining?
That is, you're talking about plant spacing.
Yes, plant spacing and actual depth. How much do you need to dig in order to plant the avocado?
Plant spacing is an interesting field as well. When this idea of planting avocados, wherever it came from, when they started, the plant spacing was very high, sometimes 10 by 10, or 10 by 9 meters, or 10 by 7 meters. But there's been a shift in recent history to what is being referred to as high density planting, where, in fact, some are even doing 3 by 3, 3 by 4, 3 by 5, and 5 by 5, where you have more trees per unit square meter. What that does is that it will enable you be able to recover your investment earlier. But as the tree mature and grow bigger, you need to prune them, because sunlight is key for fruiting in the avocado world. The exposure of the tree to sunlight is key. The orientation of the plantation is key. The orientation of the plantation needs to be from north to south. Why? Because the sun rises from the east, so that the trees can have maximum exposure to sunlight. And this is key. This is key in terms of fruiting. And when you are at fruiting stage also, there are things that needs to be done. For example, when the trees begin to fruit, I have learned and I have seen, you don't need to use fertilizers that are high in nitrogen, because what will happen is that you will have a lot of vegetative growth with few flowers. Hence, the use of, for example, chicken manure in year 3 is discouraged because it's very high in nitrogen. But during the early years, yes, because you want the tree to grow. So the point we are making on the plant spacing is that if you have half acre or an acre or 50 by 50, it may not be wise for you to go and do 10 meters by 10 meters, because you just have a few trees. So in terms of the economic return, it will be less. However, if you have 2,000 hectares, well, it might be all right for you to do that a bigger spacing. So that's what has happened concerning spacing. Now we'll move on to depth. That is how deep you must dig your hole. We are using currently 70 centimeter by 70 centimeters by 70 centimeter depth. And then you make soil amendments. That is, you prepare soil. Topsoil, which is normally of the depth 30 centimeters, you get it. And then you get sand soil, the building sand, because avocados require proper drainage of the soils. Clay soils are not the best for avocado because their root system are not well developed. And then you need to understand the content also of the amount of clay that you have. It should be between 20% to 40% of the total mass. And then once you mix this, and of course you can add cow dung or chicken manure in the initial years, and have it compost for a minimum of at least 60 days. And once it is ready, you come and fill everything in that hole, and you also create a mound so that you plant there, so that the water doesn't collect at the station where you have the plant, because avocado, although it's water thirsty, it does not tolerate waterlogging. So basically, that's what you do.
I find that interesting. And I think it's important that we say this at this point, because we've just talked about the process. Now, is it true that avocado is becoming the next conflict product, similar to the way cocaine is treated?
We've certainly seen that shift, yes. In Mexico, avocado plantations are guarded by people with guns, with AK-47. And very close to us here in South Africa, it's also come. Avocados are being guarded in amazing well. Certainly, it's a green god because of its myriad application, particularly in the cosmetic industry. It's amazing. I have seen one face mask at Harrods weighing 100 grams going for $40. Did you hear that, Mr. Sinyang?
Wow.
And the ladies are wonderful people. Yeah.
Almost 400.
That is 100 grams. And you know, a standard husk normally grow to the weight of 250 grams, meaning one husk, you are able to get 2 of those face masks that Harrods is selling. Meaning, one fruit has potential to give you $80 if you are adding value. Now, let's do the computation. Those days I used to be good at mathematics, being an engineer, but not anymore. Over time, I think the brain is slowing down. So you get $80 and then when a plant matures, you have say minimum 500 fruits. Our chairman who started this avocado 10 years now, this year he was harvesting average 700 fruits, and some of them going to 1,000. Let's say 500. So 500 times $80 from one tree.
Wow.
I would like you to give me the answer, Mr. Sinyang.
500 times $80.
$80. Yes.
$80. So what I'll just do, I'll do a 500 by 8, which gives me roughly around 6,000. Yeah. Am I doing my math correct? By just 40. Then you add your zeros. So 500, and you add 2. Is it 2 zeros? About $5,000.
It's coming to $40,000.
$40,000.
Yes.
$40,000. That's enough to buy a fuel tanker with a horse from China.
This is one tree, Basinyangwe. I have seen that product at Harrods of the face mask going for that price, and certainly
one tree.
Certainly in the global market, avocado is becoming world famous. And last year, Kenya concluded a big deal with China and began exporting avocados to China. I have some of
Yet
my
we have,
Chinese.
yet we have a, we have a trade agreement or bilateral agreement with China. Now, Mexico got into trouble because Bill Clinton signed a trade agreement in around 19 in the 90s. I don't remember which year, but because Bill Clinton signed a trade deal, we are struggling in Zambia to sign trade deals, international trade deals that can help us make such kind of money. I find that to be really shocking. Do we have any existing trade deal for Zambians to be able to export Hass avocados?
Well, the Lusaka Avocado Multipurpose Cooperative have a discussion with Sergio of Italy. They have listed as the Zambia Development Agency. And they are needing, this is one company, they are needing per month 960 tons of avocados. We don't have that. And our expected year of starting to export is next year. So we are looking for farmers to participate. And we've issued to them a 6-year plan in terms of what we are able to give in the next 6 years going forward. So we are on a membership recruitment for people to participate, whether you are in Lusaka or you are in Kasama, so that we can capture this market. We are also in discussion with other buyers, most certainly there are people out of China that we are talking to regarding this as avocado. Even yesterday, some discussions. So we think that Zambia will open up and be part of the global players in the avocado space.
What surprises me about China is that China is only consuming about 3% of the world's global production of avocados, which means that the potential to sell to China is actually massive. It's massive. Yes. And our recruitment drive, and in fact, so how many years does it take from the point that we plant the avocado up to the time that we start eating our first fruit?
Well, it's interesting. If you have already a mature tree that is a local one, you can also graft the Hass, and within a year you can harvest. That's what we are learning. Wow. But a small seedling that you plant, you basically wait up to 3 years. Then from the 3rd year you start harvesting going forward, and it gives you more fruit as it grows older. And it's key, and the number of fruit and the size they increase, but it's important that you follow a plan in terms of water management. So you need irrigation, and like the way we've been growing our avocados and our mangoes, they basically look after themselves.
Waiting for the rains.
Yes, waiting for the rain. What we are saying
I heard a story. This surprised me. I heard a story, and please do confirm this, that there's a way you can farm these plants in a controlled environment where you actually make them believe it's rain season and they can actually flower.
I've not come across that yet. You need to show me so I can study that.
I was really amazed when I heard it, that through things like tunnel farming, because they respond to certain things like certain temperatures that can be controlled. Actually, I had an interview last week with a person. The name just slipped up a bit, but he was teaching us fish farming. And there are quite a number of things that he was talking about that we are capable of doing. Then he was saying that the mistake we make is that we're constantly, like you're saying, allowing nature. But there's certain things we can do to control nature. Like if you want to produce fish throughout the year, you can control the temperatures of the water.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
and there are people who invest in doing just that, and the fish will be able to do what you want them to do, because they normally go into hibernation when it's cold.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Even precision engineering in the avocado. you
Yes.
can do precision engineering so that you give it just the right amount of water it needs. And Iran out of Israel are very good at that in terms of giving you the technology, so that you are from the comfort of your office, you are able to punch and say, I want the plant to have water so much, maybe 10 liters or 20 liters, and for so many minutes. So it's precision, and that's what will be given at a particular plantation. So you can do that and not give too much, not give too little, just what the plant needs.
Okay. Interesting question that's coming up next. Yes, we've talked about the production side and the money's involved. But there's another stage where money can be made. Value addition on avocado.
Correct.
Tell us what monies we're missing when it comes to value addition.
In
Or what
fact,
products we're missing. Then we can talk about opportunities will basically be the last part of our conversation.
the first thing you can do to avocado, which is very easy, is avocado oil, which you can use for cooking. So we've done these experiments here at Moriah Gardens, and we know how to produce this. And we're just waiting for more farmers. We've also invested in equipment for avocado extraction, oil extraction, and filtration, so that you're able to get the right quantity of and type and quality of avocado. In talking about avocado oil, let me talk about what I discovered last week in my research. We've been working on a strategic plan as a Lusaka Avocado Multipurpose Cooperative. And in terms of cooking oil, we found out in that paper, when we were doing the research on oils, edible oils, this country imports oil no less than $200 million. That's Nyangu. Did you hear that?
Run that again.
We
importing how much?
import cooking oil no less than $200 million.
$200 million.
Yes, that's what we are giving away.
And we import fish in excess of $300 million. So on top of the $300 million of fish, we're now importing 200 million of cooking oil. And amazingly enough, 3 weeks ago, we were interviewing Mangaliso from Lundazi. He's actually producing cooking oil. From
it's
Lundazi.
So easy. It's so easy.
He's using sunflower.
Yeah. The production of avocado oil is so easy. You basically get the pulp we eat. When it's ripe, you solar dry it for 3-4 days, and then you squeeze it. You can even use your hand and squeeze the oil out of it.
We call that virgin oil.
Yes. It's that simple. If you have a jack of a car, it will even help you. So you wrap it in a nice cloth and you get a jack you use for hoisting your tires, and then you squeeze it. You will have your oil. Wow. And that's where things begin. When you have the virgin avocado oil, you can do several things out of it. One of them, you can make avocado body lotion. You can make avocado hair oil. And,
that's amazing.
And several other cosmetic products.
Wow.
Then we also are making, from the pulp we eat in the avocado, we are able to make, at Moriah, we are able to make condensed milk. And then we are also able to make the cream. So when you get condensed milk and the cream and you get a ripe avocado and you mix, so that is ice cream infused with avocado.
Wow.
And it's loud.
And when I saw ice cream, I was actually amazed when I saw the product, ice cream avocado. I was like, wow, this is amazing. You know? I'm going to do something very quickly. And I'll just prove the point before we go. Yeah, I'm not saying we conclude now. I think before we go, I'll prove a point that I am a avocado fanatic, because not too far from where I'm sitting is an actual avocado. I should have actually carried it with me so that I I literally show people how serious and how we ignore something that is in our lives on a daily basis, but yet we consume it. Yeah. So tell us a bit more about the value addition that other value addition products, or the monies that are,
Yes,
if you at all we know the monies that are involved in some of these products when we do value addition.
excellent. Let me add some more. The seed of an avocado is infused with a lot of iron. It's excellent. When it's grated and also solar dried, that is your avocado tea.
Wow.
Also, the leaves, you solar dry them and you pound them, you make avocado green tea that you
Wow.
can package and that you can have on the global market. Now, listen, when you press the avocado, the pulp, and you squeeze oil out of it, the cake that remains, that
Mm-hmm.
can be used for making stock feed for chicken, for layers, and animals, because
I just got
avocado
an
oil is excellent.
I just got an inquiry today for a cake, soya cake. Please do let me know if you have a cake for for avocado that I can take to the client and see whether when they are making feed, it will be one of those inputs that will create a new revenue line for avocado farmers.
I should have some. I will check tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. I should have some that we've dried and squeezed. So you can use that
Okay.
and make your feed, yeah.
Okay.
And in
So,
terms of the price, let me give you the price now, sorry, for
okay.
avocado oil. A 250 mils avocado oil in ShopRite, 250 mils, will go
Mm-hmm.
for 91 kwacha.
Mm-hmm.
A
That's a 250.
250 mils will go for 91 kwacha. A 2,500 mils of soya cooking oil will go for 100 kwacha, meaning avocado oil is 10 times more valuable
Wow.
than soya oil and sunflower oil. Go and check tomorrow in ShopRite.
So avocado oil is pretty much in the same range value as olive oil.
It's in fact superior to olive oil, and I'll tell you why. You measure the value of oil by its smoking point. Question is,
Mm.
what is the smoking point? The smoking point is a point, a temperature at which when you are heating the oil, it begins to smoke.
Mm.
So at that point, when the oil begins to smoke, you will have destroyed its molecular structure.
Mm.
And what you will be eating will be not oil, but something else. Avocado oil has a higher smoking point than olive oil, meaning it's better quality from that perspective. The one closest to avocado oil is sunflower oil. It has also a higher smoking point, the point at which smoke comes out.
Okay. While we're waiting for the network to reconnect, let me just quickly recognize some of the people that have been are watching us as well. We have Venon Mutale, who's in Wapula in Mansa. Mubanga Seketi, who's in Mansa, as well as Sarah Ngoma from Lusaka. And Jim was even asking how much is half avocado plant going for? I'll tell you that it's actually 100 kwacha. Okay. Sorry, we lost you for a bit, so I was just saying hi to Venon Tale in Mansa, Mwanga Sekeleti in Mansa, Sarah Ngoma in Lusaka, as well as Jim, who's asking how much Ahasa Avocado is going for. They sent the messages privately. Yeah. So I hope you've been able to see the messages that we're also getting that are on screen. From Wupe, we've had Brother David who also commented. Wupe is in Dola. Ellen Miller also commented. Boyd Williams has also been commenting following the conversation.
Mr. Sinyangwe, I might need to change my network. This laptop is going off anytime. Let me change to another one.
Or maybe let's just say our goodbyes, because I think at this particular point, I think we've been running for an hour.
Okay.
We can just, yeah, I know this is a conversation we'll have to pick up again, where we break it down. So I think we can throw in, just do a quick conclusion. The last thing I was going to ask you is the opportunities. So we can do our goodbyes around the opportunities.
Certainly, there's a lot of opportunity in this sector, so we're inviting more people to participate in cooperatives. The power of numbers and working together, we think that we can do amazing things together. So as Lusaka Avocados Cooperative, we are this December beginning to invest in a plantation in Kawambwa, and we are looking for more people to participate. We are issuing shares to those that are coming as members, so we raise capital to run the industry. And so expectation that we'll be able to set up parking centers and grading and sorting so that we may participate in the global market going forward. So things look exciting, and we are excited to be part of what's happening.
Okay. All right, Margaret Tamba from Lusaka as well has been with us through this conversation, and I think we should have more of these conversations, especially where we're trying to encourage the young people and older generation. People want to retire; they need to retire into such things, you know. You know, getting $40,000 from $80,000 from a tree. That's some very good money, you know. I know a lot of retirees who have no idea what they intend to do once they retire. In fact, when they get to retirement, they're so fearful. And avocado seems to be one of those, they will probably retire on a piece of land. So might as well sit, watch your avocado bring the millions. You know, so thank you very much, Engineer Bernard Chiwala. Now we understand why you are a man of many talents. Yeah. You've confirmed what Nubilo Mate, by the way. He's also an engineer. Nubilo Mate is one of mine. He's now running his own company called Olib, and many other companies that he's running. He's the one that made that comment. And he's such a talented man as well. So it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to have you. Yeah. So I've been asked, will you have a grower schemes?
Yes, we are studying at grower scheme in Kawambwa.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
no,
that's excellent. You're welcome.
Okay, no, that's excellent. So we'll be posting articles with information relating on how you can get in touch with the cooperative and Mr. Bernard Chiwala. He runs a page called Moriah Gardens where they're sharing content on avocado. Believe you me, he did this whole entire show the same way I did the Money Business Insights this whole entire week. Everything I was saying is what Mr. Chiwala has been saying here. And hearing it from him confirms that I did not tell a lie about avocado. So I'm honored to actually have hosted you, despite all these funny technical glitches that we've had. I think it's been a pleasurable conversation, and we'll pick it up yet again at another time where we can discuss this conversation on avocado. I think today is not the last day we're going to discuss this. This is just the beginning. Yeah. So thank you very much, Engineer Bernard Chiwala. I am honored by your brother, James Chiwala, who made the connection.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's equally
Good
doing
night.
some outgrow activities that we can merge and network and see how we can help our country become more prosperous.
Yes.
I see the
Yes.
green goal. Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's
Good
been a
night.
pleasure. All
Good
right.
night, sir.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so we are basically now saying bye to Engineer Chiwala, and I would like to say thank you to our sponsors who keep us going on these conversations that we are having every week. And just below, you will see the names of our sponsors, and that is Garage on Wheels and what you call this, Glam Republic. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much. I must say this. The reason why we're doing this money chat is because a lot of people out there are looking for opportunities, right? They're looking for opportunities. And what's interesting in that conversation is people say they want capital, people say they want an enabling environment. What you need is a product. What we teach you in these money chat conversations are products and things that can enable you to be able to produce a product. Once you have a product, then you become a player in the economic activities of this country. Okay, so now that is something that most of you need to get to understand. So I put you in front of these opportunities so that you can start making money. Okay, when you start making that money, when you join the avocado value chain, you'll be able to support your families. Kenya is able to produce and export, and guess what? It takes 3 days for Dubai to put avocado products on the shelf in Dubai. It takes 4 days for the UK to put products that are coming from Kenya. That's how effective our friends are. And they put them on a plane and fly them out. And most of these are those fresh products that do not that do not have a long shelf life. So they put them on a plane. So we know that that's what they do. So Zambia is well positioned to start playing in that space. Like we're hearing, the opportunities are plenty. Someone needs to take the bull by the horn. We already know that the association requires more farmers, right? So, and we've also learned that you can actually start harvesting within a year, depending on the strategy you use to get your fruit, okay, or to get to grow your trees. So we can get this multiplication effect. This is what God said when He said, "Go and be fruitful, multiply." He meant these products that are agro-based, because they are the ones that when you plant a seed, you get fruit. A fruit multiplies, and that's what I wanted. That's the note that I'll leave you on. Thank you very much for listening to this broadcast. If you want to watch the rebroadcast, please, you can go back, watch the video, and then share with as many people as possible so that this information is known by as many people out there as possible. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Until next week's Money Chat, we'll end here.